Adventure by Adelaide Grapsey. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Sun and wind and beat of sea, great lands stretching endlessly, where be bonds to bind the free, all the world was made for me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Answer by Sir Walter Scott. Read for LibriVox.org by Darren Greer. DarrenGreer.com. Sound, sound the clarion, fill the fife, to all the sensual world proclaim, one crowded hour of glorious life is worth an age without a name. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Bedtime by Francis Robert Roslin. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. 'Tis bedtime. Say your hymn and bid good night. God bless Mama, Papa, and dear ones all. Your half-shut eyes beneath your eyelids fall. Another minute you will shut them quite. Yes, I will carry you, put out the light, and tuck you up, although you are so tall. What will you give me, sleepy one, and call my wages if I settle you all right? I laid her golden curls upon my arm. I drew her little feet within my hand. Her rosy palms were joined in trustful bliss. Her heart next mine beat gently, soft, and warm. She nestled to me, and by love's command paid me my precious wages, baby's kiss. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Boyne Water by Anonymous. Read for LibriVox.org by Délibáb. July the 1st, of a morning clear, 1690. King William did his men prepare, of thousands he had 30, to fight King James and all his foes encamped near the Boyne Water. He little feared, though 2 to 1, their multitude to scatter. King William called his officers, saying, Gentlemen, mind your station, and let your valour here be shown before this Irish nation. My brazen walls let no man break, and your subtle foes you'll scatter. Be sure you show them good English play as you go over the water. Both foot and horse they marched on, intending them to batter. But the brave Duke Schomberg he was shot as he crossed over the water. When that King William did observe the brave Duke Schomberg falling, he reined his horse with heavy heart, on the Enniskillens calling, What will you do for me, brave boys? See yonder men retreating. Our enemies encouraged are, the English drums are beating. He says, My boys, feel no dismay at losing one commander, for God shall be our king this day, and I'll be general under. Within 4 yards of our forefront, before a shot was fired, a sudden snuff they got that day, which little they desired. For horse and man fell to the ground, and some hung on their saddle. Others turned up their forked ends, which we call coup de ladle. Prince Eugene's regiment was the next, on our right-hand side advanced into the field of standing wheat, where Irish horses pranced, but the brandy ran so in their heads, their senses all did scatter. They little thought to leave their bones that day at the Boyne Water. Both men and horses lay on the ground, and many there lay bleeding. I saw no sickles there that day, but sure there was sharp shearing. Now praise God, all true Protestants, and heaven's and earth's Creator, for the deliverance he sent our enemies to scatter. The church's foes will pine away like churlish-hearted Nabal, for our deliverer came this day like the great Zorobabel. So praise God, all true Protestants, and I will say no further. But had the Papists gained the day, there would have been open murder. Although King James and many more were ne'er that way inclined, it was not in their power to stop what the rabble they designed. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Bush Goblins by H.M. Green. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. The locust drones along the drowsy noon. The brown bee lingers in the yellow foam. Blossom on blossom searching deep, but soon slides heavily winged home. The vacant air, half visible, complains, all overburdened of its noontide hour. Sound after sound in heavy silence wanes at the strong sun's burning power. Let the strong sun burn down the barren plain, and scour the empty heaven, and twist the air to filmiest flickerings o'er us in vain. His hollow vault doth glare. For us, gnarled boughs and massive boles o'ershade, and tall bulrushes guard us with green spears from the grim noon. Our dewy jeweled glade never a footstep nears. Come feast with us, behold our fragrant store of candied locusts, that no longer drone through summer eves, but, transmigrated, pour thin goblin monotone. Through eucalyptine stillness, as we rouse our gnomy anthem to the answering trees, while gold-eyed toad guards of our hidden house croak full-fed choruses. Come visit us, O follow till you find, in some green shade, our secret banquetings, where brolgas dance, and some great stem behind a hidden lyre bird sings. Ask of the eagle-hawk in the blue air, ask of the chattering parrot, he should tell, fat possum in the tree-bole, furry bear, us beast and bird know well. The silver lizard on the sun-baked stone, the green-flecked tree-snake in his circle coiled, dreaming of evil, man, and man alone missed us, howe'er he toiled. Come feast thou with us, ancient kings of all, we are the mystery at the heart of noon, weird, unseen chucklers when long shadows fall from the misleading moon. We are the spirits of distorted trees, we beckon down dim gullies, far astray, till lost, deep lost, the wild-eyed traveller sees dark at the heart of day. And oh, we laughed about his last choked groans beside the water that he sought so long, and oh, we danced about his clean-picked bones to a gnomy undersong. For all the day we chuckle and provoke with mocking shapes and noises each bright hour, but when dark even from his grave hath broke, then we are lords of power. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Dirge by Madison Cawein. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. What shall her silence keep under the sun? Here, where the willows weep and waters run, here, where she lies asleep and all is done. Lights when the tree-top swings, scents that are sown, sounds of the wood-bird's wings and the bee's drone, these be her comfortings under the stone. What shall watch o'er her here, when day is fled? Here, when night is near and skies are red, here, where she lieth dear and young and dead. Shadows, and winds that spill dew, and the tune of the wild whippoorwill, and the white moon, these be the watchers still over her stone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
An Elegy on the Death of a Mad Dog by Oliver Goldsmith. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Good people all, of every sort, give ear unto my song, and if you find it wondrous short, it cannot hold you long. In Islington there was a man of whom the world might say that still a godly race he ran, whenever he went to pray. A kind and gentle heart he had, to comfort friends and foes. The naked every day he clad, when he put on his clothes. And in that town a dog was found, as many dogs there be, both mongrel, puppy, whelp, and hound, and curs of low degree. This dog and man at first were friends, but when a pique began, the dog, to gain his private ends, went mad, and bit the man. Around from all the neighboring streets the wondering neighbors ran, and swore the dog had lost his wits, to bite so good a man. The wound it seemed both sore and sad to every Christian eye, and while they swore the dog was mad, they swore the man would die. But soon a wonder came to light, that showed the rogues they lied. The man recovered from the bite, the dog it was that died. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Goblin Revel by Siegfried Sassoon. Read for LibriVox.org by Clarica. In golden grey, with fleering looks of sin, I watch them come, by 2, by 3, by 4. Advancing slow, with loudings they begin their woven measure, widening from the door. While music men behind are straddling in with flutes to brisk their feet across the floor, and jangled dulcimers and fiddles thin that taunt the twirling antic through once more. They pause, and, hushed to whispers, steal away. With cunning glances, silent go their shoon on creakless stairs. But far away the dogs bark at some lonely farm, and haply they have clambered back into the dusky moon that sinks beyond the marshes loud with frogs. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
House Fear by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org. Always, I tell you, this they learned, always at night when they returned to the lonely house from far away, to lamps unlighted and fire gone grey. They learned to rattle the lock and key, to give whatever might chance to be warning and time to be off in flight. And preferring the out to the indoor night, they learned to leave the house door wide until they had lit the lamp inside. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
If by Rudyard Kipling. Read for LibriVox.org by David Butler. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, or talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thought your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Impulse by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org. It was too lonely for her there, and too wild. And since there were but 2 of them, and no child, and work was little in the house, she was free. And she followed where he furrowed field or felled tree. She rested on a log and tossed the fresh chips, with a song only to herself on her lips. And once she went to break a bough of black alder. She strayed so far, she scarcely heard when he called her, and didn't answer, didn't speak, or return. She stood, and then she ran, and hid in the fern. He never found her, though he looked everywhere, and he asked at her mother's house, was she there? Sudden and swift and light as that, the ties gave, and he learned of finalities besides the grave. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Liebesweh by Dora Wilcox. Recorded for LibriVox.org by Clarica. Ah, my heart, the storm and sadness, wind that moans uncomforted, requiem for love that's dead, love that's dead. Leafless trees that sough and sigh, gloom of earth and grey of sky. Ah, my heart, what storm and sadness. Ah, my heart, those sweet Septembers. Ah, the glory and the glow of the springtides long ago, long ago. Gleam of gold and glint of green on the grassy hillsides seen. Ah, my heart, those sweet Septembers. Ah, my heart, on sweet, soft pinions, Spring, the loved one, hovers nigh. She shall settle by and by, by and by. But the hills shall shine in vain. Love, alas, comes not again. Ah, my heart, on sweet, soft pinions. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Loneliness. Her Word by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org. One ought not to have to care so much as you and I care when the birds come round the house to seem to say goodbye, or care so much when they come back with whatever it is they sing. The truth being, we are as much too glad for the one thing as we are too sad for the other here, with birds that fill their breasts, but with each other and themselves, and their built or driven nests. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Oft-Repeated Dream by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org. She had no saying dark enough for the dark pine that kept forever trying the window latch of the room where they slept. The tireless but ineffectual hands that, with every futile pass, made the great tree seem as a little bird before the mystery of glass. It never had been inside the room, and only one of the two was afraid in an oft-repeated dream of what the tree might do. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Owl by Edward Thomas. Read for LibriVox.org by Emily White. Downhill I came, hungry and yet not starved, cold, yet had heat within me that was proof against the north wind, tired, yet so that rest had seemed the sweetest thing under a roof. Then at the inn I had food, fire, and rest, knowing how hungry, cold, and tired was I. All of the night was quite barred out except an owl's cry, a most melancholy cry, shaken out long and clear upon the hill. No merry note, nor cause of merriment, but one telling me plain what I escaped, and others could not that night, as in I went. And salted was my food and my repose, salted and sobered too by the bird's voice, speaking for all who lay under the stars, soldiers and poor, unable to rejoice. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Smile, Her Word, by Robert Frost. Read for LibriVox.org. I didn't like the way he went away. That smile, it never came of being gay. Still he smiled. Did you see him? I was sure. Perhaps because we gave him only bread, and the wretch knew from that we were poor. Perhaps because he let us give instead of seizing from us as he might have seized. Perhaps he mocked at us for being wed, or being very young, and he was pleased to have a vision of us old and dead. I wonder how far down the road he's got. He's watching from the woods as like as not. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Tall Nettles by Edward Thomas. Read for LibriVox.org by Emily White. Tall nettles cover up, as they have done these many springs, the rusty harrow, the plough long worn out, and the roller made of stone. Only the elm butt tops the nettles now. This corner of the farmyard I like most, as well as any bloom upon a flower. I like the dust on the nettles, never lost, except to prove the sweetness of a shower. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
To Sleep by William Wordsworth. Read for LibriVox.org by Darren Greer. DarrenGreer.com. A flock of sheep that leisurely pass by, one after one, the sound of rain and bees, murmuring, the fall of rivers, winds, and seas, smooth fields, white sheets of water, and pure sky. I've thought of all by turns, and still I lie, sleepless, and soon the small birds' melodies must hear, first uttered from my orchard trees, and the first cuckoo's melancholy cry. Even thus last night, and 2 nights more I lay, and could not win thee, sleep, by any stealth. So do not let me wear to-night away. Without thee, what is all the morning's wealth? Come, blessed barrier between day and day, dear mother of fresh thoughts and joyous health. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Two or Three Posies by John Keats. Read for LibriVox.org by Sergio Baldelli in Rome, October 2007. Two or three posies with two or three simples, two or three noses with two or three pimples, two or three wise men and two or three ninnies, two or three posies and two or three guineas, two or three raps at two or three doors, two or three naps of 2 or 3 hours, two or three cats and two or three mice, two or three sprats at a very great price, two or three Sandys and two or three tabbies, two or three dandies and two Mrs. Mum, two or three smiles and two or three frowns, two or three miles to two or three towns, two or three pegs for two or three bonnets, two or three dove's eggs to hatch into sonnets. End of a poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Wanderer by Beulah May. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Davis Drake. Out of the railroad eating house comes a lean brown man, and putting down his pack, sits smoking a cigarette. The glow lights up his sensitive Voltaire face, gazing moodily out on the trail. The blue patches under his eyes show that he has not slept. It is evident that he has not long to live, and that he knows it. He will die sooner if he smokes cigarettes, and that's the reason why he is smoking one. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.